All right, we're going to try to continue on with this second part of the ending shir and shar in the second HAAKUDIM, PEREK Bet. We're up at the top of page. Let me make sure I got the right place here. Let me try to. We're up at the page 41, Mem Aleph. Here on the, what do we call it? Tikkun Elevator Kollel, American Kabbalah Network. Od yesh hefresh acher bein yisod l'chamisha kitzvah secherim. So now we've decided that we have defined that there is such a thing as a vak, and then there's such a thing as 5 kitzvahs, 6 kitzvahs. What is it? Is it 5? If it's 6? So what I want to say is here is that the concept of the 5 has also a kollel, something that incorporates all of them. So here we have Od yesh hefresh acher bein yisod l'chamisha kitzvah secherim. There's a difference between the Yisod and the other 5 kitzvos. When Hod comes out of the Peda'ak, Nosin koch klalos echad b'Yisod mechadash bebechinas nefesh levad. It brings in a new concept of a kollel that comes from Hod specifically into Yisod. V'chein kulam achiyatzo chesed. Each one of them gives this concept of its own kollel into Yisod. So each one of them comes in and brings in the concept of its own kollel into Yisod. Masha ein came b'chamisha kitzvahs is not the case with the other 5 from Chesed to Hod. Ki b'ba ha'echad lo choyim mosi b'chaveru shum tosefes klal v'ikar. So when the next one comes out, it's not going to add anything into the previous kitzeh that was there before it. Kikulam shavim. It has nothing greater in it of itself because all of the vak are equal in terms of the power of their light or their influence or their strength. Rakshakasha nishlabokal hashisha, because the only thing is that when all of the 6 are finally completed, az nimsa nigmar kol hazar bebechinas nefesh. Then what happens though is that it affects Zer Anpin as a kollel and gives him the nefesh, the light of nefesh will light up in him. And we're going to see now, as we come to the end, how this all fits together. The light print on number Kaf Vav, he introduces a little chiddush here. Od hefresh yeshno ben sfiras yisod the ben shar chamesha sefiros. So there is another difference between yisod and the other 5. Uki hinecha yisod b'hi yosef b'tocha pad da'ak, because yisod, when it was inside still in the pad da'ak, it would get ready to come, and once it come out, he says, "Who mekabel b'china achaz b'kol katzei mechabesha kafitzo." So it gets an aspect of each one of the 5s comes into it, as that kollel aspect is built even in when it's in the peda'ak. V'ofen shuhu kollel b'chamesh sfiros, so that we say that this yisod is made out of the 5 sfiros shebechesed ad hod. So he said, "V'chuvakulin nechlalim ke'echad b'socha," and then all of them are inside of this yisod. Interesting. But they don't all come out with the Yisod. Only the Yisod comes out. But since they have been so attached to the Yisod, now they're going to have a relationship to this Yisod. So now as they all come out one after the next, the beginning, first one comes out is Hod, then comes out Netzach, then Tiferes, and then Gevurah, and then Chesed. Ozheim meirim shenis b'Yisod. They get another chance to shine into Yisod. Go na Hod be'es yitziyas v'peh da'ak, like Hod, for example, when it comes out of the mouth of Ak. Meir es oro haklali b'sfiras Yisod. So it makes this light again, this light of the incorporation of the essence of there's something that incorporates it into Yisod. He calls it the light of the klali, of incorporation into Yisod. All of them, each one of them adds a little bit of 5 different parts into the Yisod. So now he has aspects of these other 5 spheros inside of himself. He got these oros as each one of them came out of the Peda'ak. When it was still in the mouth, it got something, but now it's getting more because they're all coming out and they're shining downwards. Imagine that you're out there in a place where Gee, I really don't know. If you had, it's just such a strange concept because these lights, the greater the lights are, the more negative they are, the more nothing they are. So imagine a situation where everything is so bright, unbelievably bright, and here you have a little bit of darkness comes out. That's what trying to work that idea of how I can understand this, because it's not easy for a person to understand this. At least for me. Let's go to the light print on number Kaf Zion. It says, Amnam Bekol Shar Hameshus Sefira Shabazah, and all of the rest of the 5 spheres of Zah, Ein Adaver Kain. Kevin should be Yisod Me'irin Kol Chamisha Kitzvos Ba'oram Aprati, since the 5 kitzvos are all shining into Yisod, Bo, Gam Klalos Kol Oros, and also the Kolel of all of the Oros is in them. Masha Ein came B'Shar Chamesha Sfiras Shemecho V'Chad Chesed, but the rest of them don't have this quality. Shekal Sfira Be'es Yitziyasa Lo Choyse Me'ira B'Shar Chavrosahu, because when Chesed comes out, it doesn't shine into anything down below it, and when Gevurah comes out, same thing, because they're all equal. That's what the Rav said. V'Lechein Kol Echad B'Chamesh Kitzvos Meir Rakes or Atzmusu La'atzmo, so therefore it's only shining for itself. The light of its own essence is shining for itself. Not like Yisod, as Oros Shar Chamesh Kitzvos, that is really getting light from all the other 5. And when this finally comes out, when the Chesed comes out, you have a completion of the Zal Kol Orosa of the Kabbalah Bechinas Nefesh. So now, though, we have a complete Nefesh in Zer Anpin, which is also called this Vak or this Ruach. Different kinds of words, different kinds of situations, different kinds of looks. But the rest of the lights that come from Ohod the Chesed, nothing is added to them as the sphere above it comes out, doesn't add anything. Oros v'spheres kololos, rak spheres oros pratios, because they're not general spheres that are incorporating. None of these spheres from Chesed to Hod incorporates anything else into it. They are specifically who they are. Nothing more. Levadam hanogea lechem levad, only what is relevant to them. So now let's read the top. We're on number Kaf Ches, so we're coming around the corner here. We're getting really close to the end of PEREK Bet. So he says a number Kaf Ches, where it says on page Membet, then Bina comes out. It comes out, but how does it come out? Just like everything else, it's only a nefesh. It also adds, though, into Zah, which was originally at 6 components, but when the whole thing is all put together, it's only a nefesh. It adds a ruach into it, because its light is a magnitude of much greater strength. The neshama, the malchus, but it also adds, going further down the line, it adds a neshama into malchus. So Bina has the power to shine all the way down the line and add the missing piece in what's down below. But notice that you have now a neshama of malchus, and now you have a ruach of Zah. So understand that the neshama of malchus is not going to be greater than the ruach in Zah, because Zah is closer to the Pada'ak. So then after that, Chachma comes out as an aspect of Chachma. He says Chachma b'bechinas nefesh la'atzmo. It only comes out as the nefesh la'atzma for itself. Now, I always notice that very, very often when you see Bina, which we understand is Ima or female characteristic, that it's a lot of times it's the grammar of it indicates that it's male. So in other words, it's a masculine writing. And here we have a Chachma, which we understand is the right line, as we're going to see later on. It's a line of Chesed. This is all giving, which is all a male aspect. But nonetheless, he calls it La'atzma, for itself. So he said, in other words, it's a female aspect. Bechinas ruach lebina, so it adds now a ruach into bina, which was previously just a nefesh. It adds a bechinas neshama lezah, which was previous a ruach and a nefesh. But bechinas chaya lemalchus, and it brings a chaya to malchus. Ba'achakach yatzach a keser. Then keser comes out. Bechinas nefesh la'atzmo, it's only a nefesh, but what it does is it creates greater light and everything down below it. That is ruach la'aba, the neshama lebina, v'chaya lezer, the v'chiyachida l'malchus. So So all of these things are Malchus now, when Keser comes out, is complete in its oros. It holds a tremendous amount of its own light in it, or the light of its own Narantki. So we have a couple of little pieces here. So let's look at the light print on number Kafches. And the Tiv writes, V'hine kasher yatzach zabina b'ped ak. When Bina comes out of the mouth of Ak, we only see revealed in it the aspect of the nefesh. Baz al yedei ribuya, or so then, because of the amount of light that we're dealing with here, it adds now a ruach into zah, lights up that other one. It's a bigger electric charge, and it's able to light up the ruach part. But that it brings in the shamba b'malchus. Because we've already explained before this, that every time one of the lights comes out, it adds something into the Narantki of what's below it. It's an aspect that was already there before. The fisher ribuya or gorim gilui oros, because when there's a lot of light, it causes more light to be revealed in lower places. So now we see like that as we go down the line. As the Chachma comes out an Ach, there's Galsa Bechinas Nefesh Sheba B'Chachma Atzmas, and then it comes out only as a Nefesh. So now it adds something onto everyone further down the line. So now in Malchus, which is the very bottom, is going to get a Chaya. It's going to be very high light for Malchus. Uvazen is Galsa Bechinas Neshama. Ubabina is Galsa Bechinas Ruach. And when Keser comes out of the Peda'ak, it's Galsa Bechinas Nefesh to Keser. It's only a Nefesh, but it does a lot for everybody else. The Bechinas Ruach B'Chachma, Bechinas Neshama B'Bina, Bechinas Chaya B'Zah, Bechinas Yechida B'Malchus. So now in Malchus, when Keser comes out, there's a whole Narantki there. All the lights are there. So now we see that you have a revelation of the beginnings of Nefesh, of the Chachma beginnings Nefesh Ruach, of Bina beginnings Naran, which is Nefesh Ruach Neshama, of Bezeh beginnings Narant, which is Nefesh Ruach Neshama Chaya, of the Malchus Nishla beginnings Narantchi, and now Malchus you have the complete Narantchi. Now these abbreviations that he uses, they start with Narantchi, and then he has a Nefesh, then he has a Nefesh Ruach that's also a lot of times called Ner. Right, so we may find out that in some place in Kabbalah, the concept of a candle is a real big idea, and I think that you saw that Rebbe Memran, his little vort on Hanukkah where he's talking about a candle, but you could see that the Nefesh Ruach, the concept of Nefesh Ruach, does make the word near. Let's go to the next part, and number Kaftes, and we're moving along, and our time is still okay. He says, Hareki b'bo ha-keser shu achron b'kul. Now we said when Keser comes out, Keser is the last of the spheros. Lo yatsa ki'im bebechinas nefesh b'vad, excuse me. It only comes out as an aspect of a nefesh, because everything, as we see here, comes out as a nefesh b'vad. Now previously you said that we're going to come to another olam. After we finish SHAAR HAAKUDIM, we're going to come to SHAAR HaNikudim. And the Nikudim is going to be not like that. Keser is going to come out first, and we're going to see how everything else works, but that's a different system. This is a system, again, these are systems of the reality in which we live, but they're panimi to us, they're way inside of us. And the Rav is giving us a gilui of how creation works and how our reality exists. So he says again, Hareki b'bo ha-keser shu achron b'kulam, which is the last of all of them. Lo yatsa ge'im bebechinas nefesh b'vad, it only comes out as a nefesh. This is another explanation where we said there's a quote in the pasuk here where the pasuk says Nishba Hashem. So Hashem here we see is referring to what's coming out of the Peda'ach. He said Benafsho Kanizkar. He swears by his he makes an oath by his nefesh, because nefesh is the beginning of everything. Al derek and nizka the el, and it goes just like we said before. But this aspect of the nefesh keser, which we mentioned previously, it does remain in the olam hakudim, because we're going to say that the lights are going to go back into the Peda'ak. So we said previously, because Keser is going to go back into the Pada'ak, it's going to be the first one to go back, and it's not going to come back out again. Because as we had said, we had previously explained that if it did come back out and everything came back out, you would have the same mixture of lights together. Everything would mix back together again. And there would be no separation. So we have to keep the lights that are coming out of the Pada'ak and the Kalim, or the more gross parts of this, separate. So let's look at this little piece we have on the left column on page Membet. It says, according to everything that we said previously, that everything came out of Ak, the Pada'ak. We only see that the aspect of its nefesh is the only part that is lit up. Because Keser therefore is still missing its Narantchi. So now we have another explanation of the pasuk, which says that Hashem swore by his soul, by his nefesh. Because previously we explained this pasuk to mean Shavaya Shuhu Olam HaNikudim. So there we're talking about the Vaya there. It's called Olam HaNikudim because Olam HaNikudim really corresponds greatly to Zeir Anpin. So he explains over there that he's swearing by his soul, which is actually an Olam HaNikudim, because Nikudim is all composed of different kinds of aspects of Nefesh. Because when he says it's up above it, when he means it's up above it, he means it's inside of it. It came first. The spheres and Akudim, and remember this fact, they come out only as a nefesh. And now we're explaining there's another reason, another explanation of this. And that is that after all of the spheros came out of the mouth of Ak, now there's going to be a new aspect of all of them. But the keser of the akudim, it comes out only as a nefesh. There's nothing up above it to add onto it. This is what it means by benafsho. But keser the akudim this nefesh. It's only a nefesh, and we are ad kan, and we have finished PEREK Gimel. And I hope there's not such a long delay so that I can keep going through this. As we said before, it's such a wonderful, unbelievable piece of light that the Ari has been able to show us in order to be able to open up the Zohar and be able to understand really what's going on in the Zohar and other places in HACHAYIM and so on and so forth. This language is very, very important. And for those of us who love it, well, I'm just trying to keep it going. All the best.